Hello, welcome back for Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. The murder. Let's start with that. At least in him. What did we learn last time? We learned that she was stabbed and then thrown out the window, which seems to contradict the only witness testimony we have so far, which was from Sister Bikini. What we're hoping to get is some testimony from Larry Butts, who should hopefully shed some light on the situation and what's going on here. So let's see if we can dig into what's going on. Starting with Iris. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, you only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the Inner Temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in a training hall. Neither you or Sister Bikini is lying. Or there's a second Iris, right? I'm not ruling out, and by second Iris, this could be like legitimately this chick isn't Dahlia and it was Dahlia, or it's just someone else wearing one of the hoods and Bikini's a fucking dumbass and only looked at the hood. Right? Although, something doesn't add up about her. Redruff, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the times Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There is only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Cyclops. Iris. I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Oh shit. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. What, Maya? The Acolyte, huh? We're talking about Maya. What? Oh, God, okay. Is this going to be some spirit channeling bullshit? Like in the second game? Because if so, I'm so out. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elisto Nim? Fucking did, didn't you? Look at this guilty face. No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. I don't buy it. As I thought, no psycho looks. Very well, it is my job to get to the truth. Discover this for yourself soon enough. Court will now reconvene. Ms. Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. I can only presume that his intention was Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Roisto Nim, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, I was just artistically. Ow! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena. Subpoena. Right? What a weird word. You don't see it written down very often. You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist, man, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store. Now, is it? I know. I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? What? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work, I hope. That's it, thanks, buddy. Kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trot at all. Expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. I knew that was coming. Or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ow! Oh. Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Ms. Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. Whoa, this is too much for me. I was at that lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. Don't believe you. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, man. Nothing but a small, worthless man, ain't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. You can delve into other details at a later time. Okay, he was out at that lodge. Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. The rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right? See? You can do it if you try. Ow! There was only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge. Hold on. Walked to the bridge a number of times. A number of times? How many? Maybe 5 times. I would once every 20 minutes. Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. You bet. Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Love, you say? Was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack? Using this blackmail letter. Blackmail? No, man. That was simply a product of overflowing love. Ah! You huffy, puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. What did you see? Oh, for your sake, you saw a snowmobile. You huffy puffy, loosey goosey excuse for wimpy whining wuss of a witness, eh? Well, you see, call those names doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Hold it!
Larry, you really didn't see it? Hey, no need to hit your desk, I can hear you. I didn't see it, man, I didn't see a snowmobile. Larry, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile? You truly have nothing to hide. And why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest? Shut up, what is this? I don't know, don't ask me. Seems the time needs to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans.
Hold it!
You didn't meet anyone. That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expect to see those Crimson Lake bases now. Would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. It seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along. Okay. Well, we know this was full of contradictions, but whatever. I don't know if that's what we're meant to be pressing on. You didn't see a snowmobile, but there were snowmobile tracks there, right? I mean, it says from main gate to Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
Oh, come on! I mean, it's literally evidence that the snowmobile was at Dusky Bridge. This is why I saved, because this game has a habit of, like, not allowing obvious evidence. Right, what else have we got? What else have we got that proves him wrong? And we don't have the obvious things that I want, which are the numerous people traveling along Dusky Bridge and the times that they went. Are we just going to clock him on the weather report?
Objection!
Apparently not. Even though we established that that was incorrect already. So claims he didn't see the snowmobile. He didn't see anyone else at the bridge, but he did, right? Didn't he see Phoenix? But do we have proof of that? We don't really have any proof of that. But he did. Can I just present Phoenix to him?
Objection!
Ah. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. Sorry, man. But having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Gee, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Mr. Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. Gee, I think I finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. Why? I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. I mean, that's... the time is wrong, right? Oh no, 10:40. Yeah, 10:45. He said 10:30, right? There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out. Like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused it to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. Larry, can we call you out on the timing?
Objection!
Apparently not. No discrepancy in the time, even though the lightning hit at 10:45 and he said it was 10:30. Go figure. I mean, maybe can we press him to like commit to the time? Would that help?
Hold it!
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? I don't want to know. Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Excited? Dare I even ask? I said the meeting time is 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. Thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her.
Hold it!
This light was, of course, lightning. Like a pow! The slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom. Or a little like that. That's what I could punch on Miranda. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire, man. Oh my god. Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think, man? I was burning up as well from the fire in my heart. That's why you went to take a look at the bridge. Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind. Not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness.
Hold it!
You said right away. But exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk. And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids may join school camping trips can compare. Oh, should I press him for more info? Why didn't you call anyone is a weird one. Why did you go to the bridge? So you suddenly thought to check out the bridge. Does this mean that you initially had no intention of doing so? Yeah, I guess it does. It was really cold, I didn't really want to go out there. If that's the case, why did you change your mind? I would like to hear your reasoning. In which case, please give testimony to that effect, Witness. Reasoning? Okay, reasoning, is it? Thought I'd never get another chance to see something so big burning.
Hold it!
You decided to go and see what was happening. That's right. We're talking about a massive suspension bridge burning to high heaven. That's not something you see every day. A real specule. Like, really special? We really trust a witness who is unable to pronounce spectacle. Life seems to love hitting this poor witness below the belt. Oh man, too real. Well, my motto is to hit life back as hard as I can. I'll give you a few hits too if you'd like with my whip. He told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. It's got to be something to do with that last statement. Thought he'd never get another chance to see something so big burning. Still some thunder. I mean, it's fine other than the time discrepancy. Because he said it had stopped snowing. But lightning struck before the snow stopped. Right? We didn't get the updated testimony.
Hold it!
said it had stopped snowing. Yeah, something doesn't add up here. Alright, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let us hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay, reason. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later. Oh, man. I mean...
Hold it!
It's not impossible, but there's something about this is not right. You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright. Yeah, I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick came up yelling about a murder. Totally made me forget about the bridge. If I was pretty much out by then anyway, bollocks. What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less. Told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, blah 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 blah. Right, hold on. So... You arrived at the bridge and Nick showed... This has changed! We've lost the other statement and got this one instead now. But Nick showed up less than a minute later. We can prove that wrong, I believe. Right? Because the bridge burned for 30 minutes.
Objection!
Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hell, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien. Your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah! Well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. So it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge. And you probably got there at around 11 p.m. What? I mean, less than that, but okay. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Excuse me, I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm Luis de Mim. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11, in which case it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is very slippery. Well, there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. What? Are you kidding me? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The bridge was on fire when I got there. What? Are we using? So, oh my god! No wonder none of this made sense to me. So they're trying to say that at the time we got to the bridge, when it was clearly fucking on fire, that wasn't on fire in the way that that was afterwards. I guess smoldering. Well, that fucking changes everything. That's insane. Okay. Man. Okay. So when we saw the bridge, legally it wasn't on fire. Which means we arrived either before 10:45 or after 11:15. Fuck me. So it seems most likely, if we believe the sister, then yeah, the murder happened at 11. She sent us to the bridge. We got there like 11:15, 11:20. After the fire had supposedly gone out. Yeah, it has to be. We can't have got there before, because that wouldn't have made sense. So yeah, we got there afterwards. So the murder took place at 11. Okay, sure. What a weird fucking twist, man. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. I mean, I would say, if you ask me, is this bridge on fire or not? I would say, yeah, that's on fire. If that was me, if I had this much fire on me, I would consider myself to be fucking on fire. I would be shouting, help, help, I'm on fire, right? Look at it. No wonder this was all so confusing and didn't make sense. Also, that's a double space. Fucking calling you out, Capcom. That's a double space. Man, what the hell? So all the confusion about what time the murder happened in my head was just because this is not on fire. I'm so mad. I'm raging. Raging like the fire on the fucking bridge! Okay. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. But Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you to... Ooh, that's some weird phrasing. I don't like that. I suggest you to stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. Wow, Larry. What an image. I guess I was still sleeping. Oh, duh. So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that's as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all, man. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there is a phone right next to it. Why, then, did you not report the accident? Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space. This witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. But this is Larry we are talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Was he high? Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Which means he was talking to a girl. Right? So either Elise or Iris were there. That's the only thing that makes sense. Gee, I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you everything. You sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Everything. Ah! Then say it. Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however. Let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 50-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? I'm a donim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. Shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized that the flames had gone out, and then he came running up. I don't believe you because you came to buy Viridian paint. And if you were painting a flaming bridge, you wouldn't have used any Viridian. Fucking got him. Fucking got him. Sorry, the word is objection. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right, I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. In fact, it's introduced several new ones. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy. Larry fucking Butts. Something about this stinks, Larry.
Hold it!
Tell us, Larry. My name is Louise. Get it right. Stays like that, it will keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am. Just who exactly are you? I'm Louise Donim, apprentice extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself in any case. Then you are an artist. Of course, man, I'm an artist, the real thing. Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There was only one issue I'd care to discuss. What were you doing? That is a very... Oh, that's the wrong voice. That is a very big issue indeed.
Hold it!
Sketching. The burning bridge. The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this on my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. That sketch of mine is... Enough! Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant this sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. I need to see it. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it'd turn out like this. Imagined what? That Louise Dunham's debut would take place here today like this. Oh, show it now. Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Louise Dunham. The fuck? Ah, well. So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Response, Miss Von Karma. Yes, well. It's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry? What? The burning bridge is fine. What is that unfortunate looking figure? You spotted that? I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course. Iris! And we should take better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. What would have happened to her if she'd injured herself flying like that? Larry, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay, man. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yeah, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Are you high? The girl, she's really high up in this picture. Wow. Capcom slipping a fucking weed joke into my Phoenix Wright. For Larry Butts, the obvious stoner. What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Sure, we'd all love to see Ms. Von Karma whipping her own cheeks. But now is not the time, Judge. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me. Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Now hurry up and cross-examine him. Ah, but she wasn't wearing the hood, was she, Larry? That's probably where we get him. The hood that she'd already given to Phoenix Wright. Do I present the hood?
Objection!
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible, man. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 that is the truth. That is truly the case. And there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Ah! A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Ah! It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? No, I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why didn't Nick have Iris's hood? What? Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick, you dog? I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence, man. Definitive? Evidence? I did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Luis de Nim, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendants as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, but I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain. Been serving as a whopping serving of pain this entire time, trust me. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, man, I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. So he saw Elise. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. A crystal sphere? This one, pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere, where did you find it? Let me see, around here somewhere? Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What, blood? Ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Luis de Nim only a few minutes ago? Okay, so now it's just a question of how we prove it. I could present Elise on that no one else could have lost a crystal sphere, which feels like the most obvious one to do. I think this is the most obvious, but if it tells me no, then we're going to have to dig through his statement and find some way of presenting the staff.
Objection!
Larry. That night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who, man? Who was this stupid idiot? Miss Elise de Nim, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. On the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph. Give it back. Ow! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal sphere. It's gone. What? Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise de Nim.
Objection!
A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly. Thus, it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw it with my own eyes. And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Lisa Nim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all.
Objection!
Miss Francesca von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me, man? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case.
Objection!
That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. Can't be, because Phoenix saw it. We've got the picture of the murder scene, I think. After the murder. There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. Which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. But she's got a point. She has got a point. $10 feet. Okay, hear me out. I mean, this is so dumb. Crystal aside, is there a chance, if we accept that at least O'Nim can fly, that she flew over the bridge and then, for whatever reason, fell, which would no, because that she fell after death, right? Okay, no, it doesn't work. Okay. So whoever murdered her, why would they throw the sphere over to Dusky Bridge? Because here's the other idea. What if she's flying, for whatever reason, the sword is thrown, shot, fired, hits her in the air, kills her, then she falls to the ground. That's the 10-foot fall explained. Iris sees it, tries to pull the sword out. That's what Fat Bikini saw. But then the crystal doesn't make sense. Unless she dropped it. But then the sword, oh man, it just doesn't quite add up, does it? What? You mean I'm the killer? No way, man. No way. All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise Donium left Hazuko Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. What if it isn't blood and it's just paint? What's your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere? If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Uh... I mean, we can kind of. So there is a way. This is what we know, right? The murder took place at 11. Okay, and the body was found supposedly just after 11. So if the murderer killed her at 11 and ran to the bridge, no matter how they got there, they would have got there between 5 past and 11:15, right? At which point Larry was already at the bridge. Because he got there at like 10:50, 10:55. So there's no way they could have gotten there and dropped it after the murder because Larry was there. But is the game going to let me present that? Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. Simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You'll do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise. That's right, now I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, from here? Oh. How? Well, what I need to prove is Butts' testimony. Do I present Larry Butts? Because I'm right that that's not possible. The loss of blood from stab in the back also is like, if she got stabbed in the back, there wouldn't be blood on the sphere. Could be from a hood. I'm going to look at what to present because I think it's going to be one of those weird ones where it wants something. I don't think that what I've got is what it wants. Uh, Present the crime photo or the crystal sphere? Weird. Why the crime photo? I don't understand. Oh, half covered in snow. And the snow stopped before the murder, right? We know that. That's how we're doing it. But I mean, my way is also valid, right? This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right, man. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah. Therefore, crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. Order. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What could that have been? This sphere. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Ms. von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. But did she? She saw the victim being killed by the defendants in the Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Objection!
That's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection!
You're forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Lisa's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? Snowmobile, motherfucker. Snowmobile. I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to hear an explanation. He shows the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple.
Take that!
On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave. Whatever do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim, Elise Denum, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection!
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy, thank you, man. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right, I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Francesca von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had any frenzy whipping me. Ah! Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame, Francie! This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. Ah! Ooh. I demand satisfaction. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I'm counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright. Court is now adjourned. TBC. Hottie Clinic. What? I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor Mia Fey had ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What have I read? What I have read I don't want to believe. What is written here? This isn't the Dahlia I knew. Falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him, somehow. Right, are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Hell, maybe Viridian in artist speak. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature, pal? Only 102.2 degrees, nothing to worry about. Anyway, I read today's trial record. It weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive, despite the circumstances. We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the shitty shito did not deliver the deadly blow. Which means there must be another sword hiding out here that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Look, is there a way? Because, like, we don't really know about the flying thing, but what if what if she exploded? But there'd be no like fucking. There was no burn marks on her shit. Because I'm like, what if something at the temple exploded, which caused her to like get yeeted over the bridge? She lands in the fucking. Oh yeah, but then again, the bruises were after the killing, right? And the sword in the back. Yeah, none of it makes any fucking sense. What are we missing? Another sword, huh? Don't you worry about a thing, pal. And I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is? Our client's background, naturally. You've been Irish, sir? I have the feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you... Sorry, Edgeworth. I bid you adieu, right? Take care. Guess I should get moving too. Why, do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. Rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. Oh, that's right, Maya's still stuck over at the inner temple. Don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. No problem, pal. Just trying to give me that cough of yours, okay? Right, I'm off. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. In the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Nothing looks like it's ready to collapse, at least more than it did before. According to Bikini, Eagle Mountain is very prone to earthquakes, which reminds me. My memory serves me correctly, Edgeworth isn't exactly a fan of earthquakes. There's a narrow path going off in a different direction than that of the main hall. Looks like someone's taken the effort to write to Heavenly Hall on the signpost. And it really is more of a dusty bridge than a dusky bridge. The kidnapping incident happened here 11 years ago, so maybe it's cursed too. This temple doesn't have a single private phone line, and there aren't any houses in the area, so I guess Bikini's the only one who uses this. I really wish I'd brought my cell phone with me. Looks like it's about 20 yards to that cliff over there. I can't see the inner temple from here. I really hope Maya's okay. There's nothing else new here. I want to check out Heavenly Hall. Looks like no one's here. Larry? Louise? I was sure I'd be hiding here. I'll try again later. Okay, so we can probably find him here later. This is the famous Eagle River. I got to try out its rough rapids the other night. They say it has a really strong current. And they weren't kidding, it's both powerful and fast-flowing. I was dead lucky. I mean, lucky not to be dead. That's Dusky Bridge up there. It's amazing how clearly you can see it from so far away. Larry supposedly saw everything through the shack's window. No one's light gets down here, so it must be pitch black at night. But this area is probably illuminated that night because of the burning bridge above. Someone's really piled up on the straw roof. It's otherworldly, like something out of a fairy tale. Well, the roof part, anyway. Sign says Heavenly Hall. I guess it's pretty fitting if you spent a night in this little freezing shack. You probably find yourself at the pearly gates by morning. Look at this graffiti scrawled right on the front of the shack. At least he managed to get a pretty good likeness. When I really think about it, I guess art kind of suits him. I mean, his very existence is an art of sorts. That stuff is really ruining the beautiful atmosphere around here. It's so inappropriate. It's just a bikini in a bikini. I'm gonna think of the kittens. Steps lead up to the foot of Dusky Bridge. Coming down is a cinch, but going back up doesn't look like a walk in the park. It's time to understand why rivers always want to flow downstream and not up. Come on, please. It's for art's sake, I swear. There's only one guy who knows who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here, the heroine in my book. It'll make you famous. Ah, enough. A fool's who foolishly accepts the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Me? Wait a second, I know you. You're, ow! Your reflexes are mighty to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up and you want to grill me over a name? Fancy, you can't do that. Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death, or so I'm told. Whip a dead horse, isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not, and I'm not on the brink... No, it's me. No, it's not, and I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Francis Whippity Whip Trip. Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least semi-coherent testimony. And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. I don't care what anyone says, I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you, whoosh, just like that dude with the red underwear. Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize. Off he goes. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright. Okay. I'm going to drop a save. We are going to have to wrap up in about 15 minutes. I just got a text and someone's heading around to my place. So we've got 15 minutes to examine and talk. Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right. Extending my perfect win record naturally. Joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I'm Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. See, I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. My father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years, but now he's gone from this world. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father. Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me, this I promise. But it will be for my sake, not my father's. We clear? Yeah, Crystal. In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense. Edgeworth. Come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you. Because it does. And that's precisely why I'm here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better. And it's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile, it's almost kind of cute. Ow! No smirking! No whipping the sick. That foolish fool doing such a foolish favour for such a foolishly foolish fool. Edgeworth. Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing and one thing only, to pulverise you. Like I thought you were here to bring me some Cold Killer X, you know. I went over the whole case file on the flight over. Read the whole thing? Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made it a very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross a burning bridge, did you even consider the dangers? No. The only thought in my mind was I have to get across. A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks. And she said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the Inner Temple that night. Yeah, we do. That is going to be fairly important, I imagine. Look at the snowmobile. I'd love to know what that thing was used for on the night of the crime. Ha! Still thinking small, I see, Phoenix Wright, or perhaps not at all. That's why you will never defeat me. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't recall ever losing to you. It's time for us to settle this once and for all with one final showdown. Like she mentally blocked out my victories over her from her memory. Oh. That was one long sigh. Sister Bikini. I didn't know you were here. How are you doing? Oh. Oh. You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake. I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? Now let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Elise, now that I think about it, there's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing too. That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you? Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident. Pearls, she's missing. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself. You talking about your performance at the trial today? You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least I was until this morning. I don't see any Cyclops, so she must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden? You know that artist who testified after me. I saw Iris flying, man, her white hood fluttering. I felt like I might start flying myself. When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I'd acted just like him when I was on the witness stand. I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble and nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, and that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the inner temple, is that correct? That's right, I'm sure it was Iris. Iris claims she was in her room in Hazukoa Temple. I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night. Because you did, Mai was stuck all by herself at the inner temple. I'm so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know. Earthquakes? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Maya out of there and fast. But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island. Like an island? How so? Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the inner temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest. I see. So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as that bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there. That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer, with no way of escape either. Oh dear, yes, I suppose it does. Please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up faster. I'm curious about a few things, if you don't mind answering some questions. Oh, you mean you need to know my measurements for an investigation or something? No. I want to know a little bit more about the victim, Miss Elise Nim. I'm afraid I don't know her waist size, nor her bust size for that matter. No. I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training. My, you make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mystic Elise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know. Hey, you did it again, Sister Bikini. I noticed you always refer to Mr. Nim as Mystic Elise. Oh. Yes, now why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte. Oh, we address all our visitors as mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know. How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? Oh ho ho. They have previous. It seems Miss Elise Nim was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Mr. Nim on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess? Oh, please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh man, my head's throbbing so bad it's killing me. Pearls, she was with Mr. Nim on the night of the murder, remember? Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we'd finished eating dinner. The murder, it didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on, keep calm. There's only one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe, tell me when you'll be done with the repairs soon. Okay, let's see if we can break her Cyclops yet. I doubt we have enough, but let's at least take a look-see.
Take that!
Lista Nim. Sister Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Elisa Nim had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe it has to do with her true identity. What on earth are you talking about? She was... Miss Elisa was an author, just an author of picture books. To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her. Suspicions? Yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory, though. And now I do. This piece of evidence proves Mr. Nim's true identity. Do I? Oh, of course, the sphere. Well, Sister Bikini, what do you have to say to that? Of course, I don't know why it didn't hit me before. Your heart, it's impure. What? So that was false. Okay, I mean, I think it's going to have something to do with it. Okay, the other thing is... the fact that she had a hood, maybe? Uh, I don't think we have the proof that we need. Yeah, we need more proof. The crystal, I think, it's the same crystal they have on their hoods, right? The thing that protects them against something. I don't think there's anything here. It's one of these, basically. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found. Mr. Nim's staff. I definitely remember there being a crystal sphere attached to the staff. I guess Larry eventually found the sphere near the foot of Dusky Bridge, but what was it doing all the way out there? Shito, it's Mr. Kami's right hand. It was proven in court today that it wasn't the murder weapon. Given the design, it must have been used for some pretty gruesome things in the past. These stone lanterns scattered around in the courtyard. Without the city glare to compete with, I imagine they would seem a lot brighter. I guess Sister Bikini must like them now since Iris can't be here. Ladder. The main gate's on the other side of that stone wall. The difference in elevation is almost 10 feet. That's how steep this hillside is. It's also the height the body fell from, according to the autopsy. Is it possible that Mr. Nim was pushed from the top of the wall? It seems a bit weird, doesn't it? The building up there's the main hall. It was where we were staying. It's kind of funny because it was built on a very steep slope. Against from the main gate side, these rooms above are beyond the ground floor. Apparently Mr. Nim was staying in the corner room. I guess that's where she was pushed from that night. I get quite a bit of snow up here on Eagle Mountain. Around here, skis aren't just for fun, they're tools for getting around. But the sled, now that's got to be for Bikini's own personal entertainment. Okay, there's nothing else new here. Right. Oh. What was that jarring, inconsiderably loud yell? So this is what you've been, keeping nice and warm, I see. Detective, you finished repairing the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'd let you know. Well, then I'll come along with you and... Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case. What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me. Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean. Ah! It's been a while, Scruffy. Von Karma. Sister, please leave the investigation to me. My. Well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. I'm on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to. As you work to pin the guilt on Iris. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright? Oh, that hurts, you know. Silence! I, Francesca von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. So you will follow me. She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she? Okay, the bridge is open. I suspect this is going to be quite a big section of the game now. So I'm going to call that there for now. I'm going to go deal with some real-life bollocks. I may or may not be back after lunch. If I am, we'll do some Beholdle and then some Hitman. If I'm not, then I guess I'll see you about 4-ish for Beholdle. GG. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I'll see you later. Bye.